played arguably their best game of the season, and really in their biggest game of the season to this point. The Pittsburgh Penguins are, like I've been saying for a while now, your likely first-round playoff opponent. And the Rangers lost a tough one to them, 1-0 in Pittsburgh, a game which the Rangers played well. They held their own, but it was a disappointing loss as they didn't score any goals. And the Rangers were coming off a really disappointing and in some ways embarrassing, in the way that it happened, loss to the Devils. They had a couple of really big wins before that, and they're entitled to lose games, but it was tough. I mean, they gave up 5 goals in the second period. It was a bit ugly, and this was right at the trade deadline. And I had said last episode, win or lose, based on the way the Rangers have played all season, expect them to play a good game. And oh boy, did they play a great game. They were the better team by far. And Gerard Gallant, look, not every coach is going to do everything the right way. And I felt like some of the things he did last game I didn't totally agree with, but he more than not pushes the right buttons, and he was able to sort of switch the lines around, and it worked. It really did. And I liked most of the decisions he made in terms of the lines as he took Ryan Reeves out of the lineup. I want to first talk about that. I think that's the right thing to do. I really do. Will he be back in there? Yes. But it's to the point now where you have better options. And that's not even including Kakko and Rooney yet. Like, to me, Ryan Reeves is so far off this lineup, it's not even funny. And again, with that being said, especially until those guys are back, he'll be back in there. You know, Johnny Brodzinski, Dryden Hunt, those are guys that will probably be in and out of the lineup, but it adds such a different dimension. The Rangers can roll 4 lines. What was interesting was that Justin Braun was a healthy scratch. Braden Schneider back in there, and Braden Schneider played well tonight. So Schneider was out against the Devils, played tonight with Patrick Nemeth, did a really good job. And, you know, the Rangers traded a 3rd-round pick for Justin Braun. Expect him to still be in the lineup, but this now confirms that really between Nemeth, Schneider, and Braun, it's going to be 2 of them are going to play and one of them is not. And Nemeth kind of in a weird way has the leg up because he's a lefty defenseman, whereas Schneider and Braun are both righty. So, which may not be what Ranger fans want to hear, and I don't necessarily agree with it, but I think that it might be a Braun or Schneider situation, not both of them playing. But it's something interesting to see. And, you know, Braun, he was out of the 3 new guys, he was the one guy that I didn't think looked so good against the Devils. So I understand why they did it. It is interesting, though. And that'll be a situation that I think will change as well over time. But the Rangers, they just absolutely exploded early. And Alexis Lafreniere was moved to the 3rd line, playing his normal left wing. That's how Gallant's phrasing it. And it's true. Lafreniere is absolutely probably better offensively and more so defensively as a left wing. And, you know, Kreider having the season he's having and Panarin being who he is on the left side, unfortunately, Lafreniere is going to get those 3rd-line duties. But they score to start the game, the 3rd line, and that's Philip Hedl centering Lafreniere and Goodrow. That's a pretty solid 3rd line. Like, if that's what it ends up being, that's a really good one. And 2 minutes and 7 seconds into the game, it's Lafreniere extending his point streak to 5 games, 5 straight games of points for Lafreniere. He scores, like I said, his 14th from Hedl and Goodrow. Goodrow gets it over to Hedl, a little kind of a mini 2-on-1. Hedl made a really nice play, and Lafreniere goes backhand past Tristan Jarry. And the Rangers were going low on Jarry. They were shooting low, and maybe that was intentional. It was a bit of a rough night for Jarry and the Penguins. Evgeny Malkin was out for the Penguins, and he was the one person that scored a goal in that 1-0 win against the Rangers. Malkin was the 1 goal scorer. So, you know, certainly a big loss of Malkin being out, but even if he played this game, the Rangers were still going to win. But Lafreniere scores, and then at 3:58, Mika Zibanejad makes a great pass to a streaking Chris Kreider, and Kreider scores. At the time, his 43rd goal of the season, just a great pass by Mika. Kreider just shoots it by Jarry, and it makes it 2-0. And then right after that, that same line scores again. Frank Vetrano, who seemed like a pretty good fit on that line. It had been Lafreniere. Vetrano scores his 12th goal of the season, his second as a Ranger, from a great pass by Zibanejad, and Kreider with the other assist. So the Garden is buzzing. 3 goals in the first 4 minutes and 16 seconds. That's just ridiculous. And so the Rangers are off and running. It causes Mike Sullivan to call time for the Penguins to settle things down. Didn't really work, but I mean, I guess it kind of prevented the Rangers from continuing to score. But the Rangers get their one power play as Sidney Crosby hooks Chris Kreider at 7:14. The power play was unsuccessful, but they got some pretty good chances, and the Penguins have a really good penalty kill. And also, the second unit got like half the time. You might see with the new acquisitions, you might see the second unit play a little bit more. So they took Goodrow off that second unit, and it was Trouba, the one defenseman, with Lafreniere, Hedl, Vetrano, and Copp. But they don't score. And then a real big moment of the game, Dryden Hunt takes a double minor for high sticking at 15:50 of the first. And a play like that, honestly, could get Dryden Hunt taken out. It's that tight where I wouldn't want it to happen. Not that I'm the biggest Dryden Hunt fan, but I would prefer Hunt over Reeves. But the Rangers do an amazing job of killing off the 4 minutes. You had the Zibanejad-Kreider duo do a really good job, Goodrow Copp, and then also Strome and Tyler Mott. And I thought Tyler Mott, most specifically on that penalty kill, really showed his speed, tenacity, and what he can bring to this team. That's an acquisition that definitely flew under the radar, but I think is really going to pay major dividends. So just a great job by all those penalty killers. So the Rangers go into the second up 3-0. And in the second, and the Rangers outshot the Penguins 11-5 in the first. The Rangers outshot the Penguins each period. This was just, like I said, the Rangers' best game of the season. We can kind of be prisoners of the moment sometimes, and there were some other really good wins, honestly. But I think this one was the best. But Igor Shesterkin gets a little too aggressive and takes a delay of game penalty. And so the Penguins go on the power play. Also of note, which I skipped, in the first period, the Penguins almost had a goal where there was a net mouth scramble, and Shesterkin did have it covered, and it was ruled no goal at the time, and it was confirmed no goal. Trouba kind of made a risky play right after the Rangers took a 3-0 lead, and he took the puck in front of the net, and the Penguins stole it. But it was no goal. It was the right call, but that could have turned the game around right there. But anyway, Shesterkin in the second takes a delay game penalty, and the ironic thing was it didn't stop him. On that penalty kill, he kept on just shooting it down himself down the ice. So there was he wasn't scared. It wasn't like, oh, well, now I gotta take less chances. No, if anything, he did more, and there was almost some shorthanded opportunities because of Igor's aggressiveness and good passing. So the Rangers are able to kill that one off. And then not too far after, better than that. What am I saying? On that power play, I want to first go back to last game against the Devils, where Mika sets up Kreider for an amazing opportunity, and he doesn't shoot. He passes it back. And Kreider, after the game, even said as much. He said, what am I doing? I've shot that all year, and the Devils go down, and they score what was the goal that really completely put it out of reach. If Kreider scores there, the Rangers would have been down by 1. In this game, same situation. Zibanejad feeds Kreider, and he scores. Shorthanded goal, Chris Kreider. Second goal of the night, 44th goal of the season, and Mika gets his 42nd assist on the season and his third assist on the night. Zibanejad and Kreider, really the main story of this game, if we're going to call out players. Just amazing. I mean, Zibanejad is just flying all over the ice, playing well in terms of goal scoring, playmaking. Honestly, faceoffs has been better lately. This looks like a night and day difference from the first 2 months of the season. It's not the same anymore. Zibanejad is back to being one of the best centers in the league. So Kreider is 6 goals away from 50. He should get there and more. So, 17 games left or so. There's a very good chance that Chris Kreider hits 50 goals. So the Rangers are up 4-0, and they take that into the third. And they call a roughing penalty on Patrick Nemeth on, he was roughing Sidney Crosby. I mean, I know it's a bit of an old take, but Crosby really does get a lot of calls. So that happens. Nemeth takes the penalty, and Nemeth, obviously is a bit of a whipping boy for Ranger fans, and in some ways deservedly so. Of course, what happens is it leads to the one Penguin goal. So another situation where Igor can't get that shutout. It's the goal is given to Jeff Carter. It was a shot by Kapanen. Carter deflects it in front. Carter's 15th goal of the season, 6 minutes into the third. So it's 4-1, but the Rangers did a really good job. And to seal it late, it's the first goal of his Ranger career, Andrew Copp. 14th goal of the season. Great pass by Panarin. Strome gets the other assist. Gives the Rangers a 5-1 lead. If I'm going to have a gripe, it's really, I think Copp is a good addition for that line. He's doing everything he can, but just the Panarin-Strome combination, I would like to break that up still. I really would. I want Copp to center the Panarin line. And maybe we can get there, but I'm not that optimistic about it. But really, Andrew Copp has looked very good in his first 2 games as a Ranger. Nice to see him score a goal and kind of get that sort of, if there was going to be any sort of pressure, he got that first goal out of the way quickly. And so the Rangers take a 5-1 lead. They win it 5-1. Just a very impressive game. I really like that. I mean, the K'Andre Miller, Jacob Trouba pair has just been awesome. They have just really been standing out. K'Andre Miller is really becoming one of the better defensemen in the league, and he's very young. This is his second season in the league. It's very impressive. All the potential is there. And this is someone who, I feel like he doesn't get the recognition that he deserves. But K'Andre Miller, he is becoming really, really dependable for this team. And there's just that Miller-Trouba pair. It's very physical, but it doesn't hurt you. But they can still chip in offensively. It's not as if they're just, yes, I do kind of consider them a bit of a shutdown pair, but they're good. Again, that 200-foot game, the Rangers are getting better as the season goes on, seemingly with the ability to potentially score goals, and then also defensively. They brought in some guys that are much, much better on the defensive side of things. So the Rangers win at 5-1. They are now 1 point behind the Penguins with the game in hand. So it's neck and neck, and the Rangers play the Penguins next week at Pittsburgh. But before that, and that's going to be a huge game at Pittsburgh, the Rangers play Buffalo at home, and the Rangers should not take them lightly. They should know this for many reasons. The Rangers already beat the Sabres twice. Let's remember those games. They won at home in the game where Ryan Lindgren scored with less than a second left in the game. So that says it all right there, how close it was. And then the other game they won at Buffalo was where the Rangers got very lucky, where Buffalo ties it up late, but they called it offside. It was either goal interference. I believe it was an offside that was overturned. And so the Rangers almost blew that game. So, and even a bigger point is that the Sabres are playing very well lately. They had a winning streak. They did lose tonight in a shootout to Washington after they just won on a shootout against Pittsburgh. So Rangers should know from the Devil game to not take the Sabres lightly. I don't think they will. I think that it's fresh enough where I think the Rangers will be ready to go, because you could consider this a bit of a trap game with the big Pittsburgh game coming up next. The Sabre game is sandwiched in between these Penguins games. And I trust Gallant and the team to, give it their all and their best, but it is something worth mentioning. But that'll be an interesting game as the Rangers take on the Sabres. But again, Rangers with a very, very impressive and very encouraging domination win at Madison Square Garden as the New York Rangers defeat the Pittsburgh Penguins 5-1.